What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel that's still growing strong, and welcome to not just the hoodie, to a Ford Fiesta diesel. This one's a bit different than the traditional EcoBoosts and 1.25s. Let me show you some of the bits on the car. What do you want to see, good or bad? Let's start with the bad. If we're talking about wear and tear on this car, you're going to find obviously it's already had a life, so there are going to be some wear and tear items on it. Some absolute doofus has spray painted the mirror caps black. Whilst I wouldn't traditionally be too bothered about it, you can just about see a little bit of colour in there. At the back of the car, you can spot this is slightly out, but it's not exactly going to make a big difference, is it? And in the last video, I did point out that the boot release button doesn't work. It still doesn't work, but it's okay because the new one arrives today. It just simply hasn't arrived. They're plug and play. It takes 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes to swap it. So that's going to be done probably in the next few hours. That's it. That's all the bad stuff I can find on the car. I gave the car a good buff, so you can see it's actually come up pretty well. Now let me show you some cool things about it. It only has 67,000 miles on it. And apart from where I've been sitting, apologies about that, the interior is in beautiful condition. I'm going to count this as a classic. The back windows are windy, which is more fun for a lot of reasons, because you actually got to put some work into it the way it should be. It is still a Z-Tech, but it has rear parking sensors. The tyres are matching all around, and they are all brand new Bridgestone tyres for all season. So they're as good as they can be at this point in the UK with our weather and our winter. I'm sorry. To top it off, all of the alloys are actually in really good nick, and the brakes have just been changed. Discs and pads are done. To top it off, it's just had a fresh 12-month MOT with no advisories. So the car's good. What about the engine? Well, the good news is the cam belt, or timing belt, as we touched on in the last video, has already been done. I was so grateful. I found a receipt, cam belt, water pump, battery, they were all changed about 15,000 miles ago, which is brilliant. Hallelujah. Literally, the only niggle for me is those mirrors. They're a bit irritating. And what's even more annoying is I did actually find a set of mirror covers that I thought were the correct color. And as you can see, they're clearly not. My apologies. Apart from that, it's a small, simple car. Now, the insurance group on it is 8 out of 50, which is great. It means that for new first-time drivers, this is actually a very genuine option. I'm a bit irritated by that, but it just simply isn't worth doing. The plates beforehand were dead rusty, so they've been changed, so it gives it a refreshing look. And it's £20 a year to tax, so even more reason to celebrate. You're a first-time driver, on your insurance, on the tax, the costs are already dead low. Great. So as a new-time driver, you don't want to be around in anything embarrassing. Well, the good news is you don't have to be, because in our generation, with our first cars, it was considered lucky if we had power steering. Don't worry, it's got power steering, because you're in this generation. Woohoo. Now, I know I scared you with the back windows being windy, wind up, whatever you want to call it. The fronts are electric, so don't worry about that. What you really want to focus on in a car like this is cleanliness. It has a very clean interior, which, trust me, makes a big difference. I've seen some horrible cars when it comes to interiors. This, thankfully, was not one of them. So with Fiestas and even Fords, we traditionally talk about the EcoBoost engine, which is basically another way of saying grenade for an engine. They do go bang quite a lot. Wet belts are basically a taboo topic, and yes, we are going to come onto that. I was planning on using my Ford Focus to make a video about it, but it sold so fast I didn't get a chance to do so. But of course, the customer was happy. That was my primary focus. So we will get another EcoBoost, obviously one that is not a grenade, and that will be featured at some point soon. But with these pre-facelifts, it was the 1.25. I don't know why they added the 5 on the end. It was probably to make them feel better. The 1.25 petrols, but they were so sluggish. If you had a 1.25, a lot of people from my generation drove a 1.25 at some stage, and we all said the same thing, which is, oh my God, you can just put your foot down and leave it there, because you wouldn't go anywhere. They were pretty gutless, but because the cars were like, you know, a little bit stylish and sexy, it was okay. Now, this one has a 1.4 diesel, but it has a turbo, so it's cool. The biggest thing you want to watch for in these is basically the timing belt, the cam belt, which has been done. Because it's low mileage, it's probably going to last a long time, which is wonderful. It's what we want from a used car that's a budget car. Make it last ages. Now, because it's pre-facelift, it obviously doesn't have a lot of the sexy features like Bluetooth. Premium product, that. But it does have an aux input. I keep saying my generation. I bet if all of you guessed how old I was, you'd probably say 40s, 50s. Nope, go a lot lower, I'm barely out of my 20s, put it that way. So full disclosure, these diesels are a little bit tractory in the way they sound, but the good news is, because this one just had a full inspection from LT prior to me buying it, I was chilling at LT Mechanics and a customer came in to collect this car, and then they said, we're going to We Buy Any Car. Quickly, my ears perked up and I said, hang on a second, why? It's a low mileage car, yes, but we just don't have the facility or room for it, so it's got to go and we'll just get rid of it. We're not bothered. Obviously, I made them an offer for it, and because it was convenient for them to have it gone there and there, They took the offer. Obviously, I prepared this to my standards. I've made sure that even though it already passed a full inspection and it already passed the MOT and has no advisories and all the rest of it, I still said, put it on the ramp, double check everything. I know I'm pushing at that point, but there was nothing else to improve. Apart from the little niggles like with the boots and confirming all the details, I have also made sure this has just had a full service today. That is a full service, so oil, air, fuel, all those filters are done, and of course the oil itself is done, so that is refreshed. So what you want to look out for with these cars is basically the cam belts, which has been done, oil changes, we've just fully serviced it, so you're all good. And because it's a low mileage diesel, oh my god, they're going to last you an eternity. Diesels are such a great strong option. Diesel engines are built strong. They do last a lot longer than petrols. If you put the 1.25 petrol side by side with this, both of them are quite reliable, but this one would outlast it just because it is a diesel. In the middle of shooting this video, a customer called me to inquire about the Vauxhall Insignia that we are currently preparing and having the timing chain done on that he saw in my last video. I'm genuinely shocked right now. I've just had a phone call from an absolutely lovely guy who has inquired on the Insignia, and him and his missus saw the video that I put up yesterday about the Insignia, and he loves it. So we've had a nice little chat. He wants it delivered all the way down south. It's a long way. I do get the question a few times, do you deliver? What's your rates? And very simple, I do £1.50 per mile. It's pretty industry standard, that. And that just means that the cost to get there, the cost to get back, my time, everything's taken care of at that point, obviously. I think it's pretty reasonable for the most part. Even driving hundreds of miles, it doesn't bother me. As long as it's covered, it makes no difference. And also it's a good test of the car to know that it can go all that way without any trouble or anything. So he's going to let me know inside 24 hours if he wants the car. And if he does, then obviously that car could be snapped up. Oh yeah, when it comes to the key, do you like the decoration that came with it? She did like this Fiesta. So, fire the tractor up. It does have one of those kind of like lazy start sounds these 1.4 diesels always did. But the good news is I got just under half a tank in diesel, which is wonderful. When you get that, when you buy a car and it's got fuel in it, I don't know why, there's always a mini celebration that goes on. I've still got my AirPod in the other ear just in case I do get a phone call while I'm driving, because it's not uncommon. So obviously with a diesel, especially with a first-time driver, one thing I used to love is the fact that you can just take your foot off the clutch and the car goes on its own because, you know, it's got all that torque. Gearbox feels nice and good. There's no struggles with it at all. Clutch feels pretty good. Like I said, with a 1.25 petrol, the biggest problem you had was when you go up a hill like you are right now, it would just bog down and you get no power at all. But because this one has a turbo, it goes up a hill with a bit of power. Now it's only 70 odd horsepower, so it's nothing to write home about, but because the car is so small, it moves around actually pretty well. This one handles really well. Do you know what he said to me on the phone? He said that you come across as such an honest dealer, and he said that's rare in the motor trade. Just lock the door because I don't trust anyone. It does shock and surprise me. Every time I used to call the dealer and say, hey, I've seen this car for sale, can you tell me anything about it? And they'd always say, yeah, it's available, we have it, or it's part X or something. They never told me anything about the car. They never had any link or anything with the car, and that made a difference to me. This customer did just ask me who I can get to deliver the car, and I said, no, it's a personal service, I do it myself. I want to make sure that customer's taken care of, so of course I'm going to do it myself. Do you remember that old saying, if you want something done properly, do it yourself? Coming into a corner, let's see if it falls over. Brand new tyres in it, I expect not, and yeah, no issue in the slightest. It actually went around that really smoothly. I've always liked big cars. When someone says to me, oh, small cars sell really well, I've always struggled to understand it, but as a small little car, I mean, it gets a lot done, doesn't it, for very little. The diesel engines in these, they do drive really well. They cruise really well too. So it's not an off-put. I know you get the extra tractor sounds when you're driving, and it's a little bit more obvious compared to the petrol sounds of the 1.25. But considering you're getting mega fuel consumption, you've got 20 quid a year to tax, and it drives this well. I mean, I'm very comfortable, happy driving it. And it's got power steering. Don't worry about that. I made sure of that. It's got the electric mirrors. It's got electric windows at the front. It's just a nice, clean car. That's all it is. I mean, that's it. It's simple, but it's simple motoring, and it's what a lot of people, it's all they need. Yeah, these 1.4 diesels are definitely known to be the reliable side of things. Normally with Fords and EcoBoosts, it really gave them a bad name with that. And with Fords, you can get some very good, reliable, kind of all-you-need cars. But with these older Fiestas and the diesels that come with them, they were a bit of a hidden gem. Those Fiesta vans kind of were the same idea, which is you can get one of these and it would kind of reliably do everything you needed to do for very, very cheap. The fact that the cam belt's been done, the water pump's been done, it's got a new battery, it's had a full service, this is pretty much everything you need. It's clean, it's nice. The bodywork's got a few marks on it here and there, but obviously look at the age, it's what, 14 years old. And even as a 14-year-old little car, it's great. So this is basically up for 2,795, and I'll be very surprised if this hangs about too long. If this car is your sort of thing, let me know, get in touch, and you could secure this car. Oh God, there's a funeral thing. Hang on, let me just... Sorry, I take that quite seriously. When there's a funeral car going by or a funeral congregation, music goes off, and in my mind I basically do a little prayer. I'm not overly religious, but it's just a mark of respect. Anyways, coming off topic, I don't expect this car to last too long. In the scenario that somebody wants to secure this car, get in touch with me. Yes, on my website, it's flagship-cars or flagship-cars.com, and on there you can find the number to WhatsApp me. Obviously make sure it's business related. Like I said, I can deliver anywhere in the UK, so if you're really far away and you still want this car, it's an option. That customer sounded so nice on the phone. I genuinely hope I can meet him. This one's been a bit unique, but thank you so much for joining me on this journey. We've got loads of stuff in the pipelines to kick out, including financing cars as a new trader. That's something which is coming up in the near future. But we have the Audi A1, which is currently having everything done to it now, as we speak. In the next couple of days, expect the video on the A1, and that is going to be really, really cool. Yeah, so expect that video to drop in the next couple of days. What's even better is when I got back to the unit after filming, the Audi was basically finished. So that is going to be exciting. It had 2 springs on the back that were corroded. Going into the winter, I do not want to risk them snapping, so I've had them both replaced. I'll see you soon.